The Widow is in primer, as you can see. Give it a couple of coats of my favouriteest one. There you go, the Aqueous Black Silver 1000. Lays down really smooth, going really nice solid finish on it. So that is done underneath as well. I'm going to change the wheel bay colours to zinc chromate instead of interior green, I think, which it should be. I've got a couple of little bits to sort out. There is, I don't know if you can see on the camera, a bit of a ghost seam coming there, which I'm surprised about, seeing that I use super glue, but obviously I have, so I'll get that sorted. Also, as well, there's a bit of boom work as well. Let's see if we can just, especially on this side, it's a bit gnarly there, where the boom sort of meets the wing joint. Again, the nose is passable, but there is a step. I'm going to admit it. I'm not going to gloss over it. There's a step, but I think once the decal's on, we'll get away with it. But for the eagle-eyed among you, I've made a bit of an error. So if we're having a look at these nacelles, this one's right, as you can see, and this one is not. I have somehow managed to put the engine in wrong, and I need to rectify that. So there's two options here I can think of. Now these aren't stuck on, they are just, thankfully, bit of poster tacked on. So, you know, I thought about, well, I'll just fill the lug in, spin the engine round, but obviously I can't because of the front of the engine's not going to line up. So that bit is separate, where these flaps are here, and the engine is actually, as you can see at the back, stuck in with I wish it was extra thin, but it's not. I've decided to use contactor, so it's quite well bonded in there. So I've got a couple of options. Is saw this back off, see if we can obviously separate the engine, spin it, put it in the right way, button it back up, or fill these panel lines in and rescribe to the correct position that they should be when it's actually seated on the wing. I need to think about this, because this could be I don't know, yeah, this could be this could be a lot of work. Do you know, the funny thing is as well, I was trying to be careful to make sure it all lined up and was the right way around, and somehow obviously I haven't. So that is a little problem I need to solve before I can obviously rub this primer down, do any sort of remedial work, shall we say, before I actually paint it black, even though, as you can see, it's a lovely solid coat of black. But that's just not going to cut it, is it? Let's be honest, it's not the most exciting looking. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. So my plan is to, like I say, is to sort this out. Now, it might actually work in my favour if, in all my rubbish in my drawers next to me, I can find what I'm looking for. I've got some razor saws somewhere. And I don't know what I've done with them. Good planning. Put them somewhere safe, as you do. And now I don't know what I've done with them. Aha, there you go. We're back. Airwaves, which do XX here from Hannants, as you can see, are the supplier of these. Do really fine razor saws. There's also the trumpeter ones as well. They do some nice ones, which again I have got somewhere. This must be fantastic viewing when you listen to this and you don't know where half my stuff is. Yeah, I don't know. I've got such trouble. But I'm going to try these. So let's get back to where we are. Again, really fine, so we can get a fine cut to if I need to obviously split this, which I actually think might be the better way, if I'm honest. I'm definitely toying with the idea of easiest route, less mess, but I think, to be honest, splitting it and then see if we can, you know, get the engine out some way or another. But yeah, they do some different sets of these nice razor saws, so you know, different numbers on them. They might be the ones I need, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to probably test them out. I think you just need to put them in a scalpel handle, and away you go. So I will get on with this and we'll see what happens. There she is, all primered up. Give her a coat of my pretty much my go-to primer at the minute, which is Aqueous Black Surfacer. Love this stuff. Goes down super smooth, dries really hard and is durable. Gives a good base for any top coat. So yeah, really pleased so far. Got some remedial work to do. Bit of rescribing just in front of these nacelles here, where obviously I've had to blend them in, and also these back booms as well need a little bit of work. But apart from that, we are looking pretty good. So next step is, like I say, do the touch-ups that I need to do and the bits of work, and then we will actually start painting it, even though, as you can see, it's black. But we're going to be obviously breaking that up a little bit. So yeah, really pleased so far, and as you can see, not a tail sitter, which is always a bonus. So coming along okay. So I'm going to crack on then, get these other bits done, and then we'll get it in this paint booth and start laying some colour on it. So I started putting some decals down, as you can see, and all was going swimmingly until it came to doing the walkways at the top. So obviously everybody knows P-61, it adds the red walkways. Okay, managed to get one on, which was this top one here, and then when it came to this quite complicated one, which kind of goes round here, it just didn't want to play. Alright, it just basically just turned in on itself. I couldn't get it straight, and it was turning into a bit of a disaster. So I've abandoned that idea, obviously, because I couldn't reuse the decal, and what I'm going to do is spray them on instead. So as this side is actually kaput, and it's going to take a lot of hassle to mirror the other side as well, I've had the store, we have a Hobby Boss version. So what I've done is taken the said decal sheet and photocopied it a few times, to be honest. I want spares just in case I manage to make a mess of this as well. So the plan is to take a, let's move that out of the way, a sharp ruler, and not this blade, I'm going to put a fresh scalpel blade in it and trace around it, put tape over the top, which I'm going to have to use some of this thicker tape, this frog tape, but it will do for what I want. And then what we will do is tear a bit off, place it over the top like so, so we can see what's underneath, and then make a mask for it. Now, if I'd have known this before, and if you're going to do this and spray them on, I would say spray them on first and then paint the black. It'll be easier to mask. Do a positive instead of a negative. I think that's the right way around. But obviously I've got this now in paint, and I'm not going to then, you know, go backwards to go forward. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm going to crack on with that, get on, and then we'll come back and see actually if it's worked or not. Fingers crossed. So just before I get far too carried away with this and not put the camera on, just wanted to quickly show you where I'm at with the weathering on the P-61. So I broke out the oils, but first I put a base layer down of Flory washers. So I used the dust, grime, black and dark dirt, which is standard sort of colours that I always put a base down first, and then obviously the oils over the top. So what the clay wash does is just really act as just a nice absorbent barrier to, you know, lock the oils down when we lay them down. It's just a nice foundation, and then you're just building up the layers, just, you know, to get your weathering down really. So I'm just coming in with some exhaust streaking base layers there. So got my little cardboard palette, black, white, neutral grey, a couple of blue tones, midnight blue and like an oxide blue, dark mud, dust and sepia. So not a massive palette of colours, but enough to break this black up. So again, I've been doing it underneath as well. Just had a bit of dust and grime underneath. So I'm just putting the lights to darks as you do. It's the OPR method of doing it. So anybody who knows that method will know where I'm going with that. Just doing the tail as well, but I'm going to obviously just build it up layer by layer. I don't want it sort of, how can I say, ditched and sort of like a wreck. I just want it sort of used of use. I've got some good photos as well, some good reference photos which I highly recommend. You know, if you, whatever subject you're building, if you can find some really good reference photos, it's just going to help you along with the weathering process, because you'll know where to put down what's clean, what's dirty and stuff. So I'm obviously concentrating as well around these nacelles, because that's going to get a lot of maintenance work. So crews getting in, you know, reloading, fixing engines, whatever, they're going to get a lot of, you know, a lot of wear and tear, where obviously the outer wings aren't going to get so much. And I would have thought as well, these engines probably leaked a little bit, so there's going to be some leakage again. Probably going to put an ochre down on the mat, should I say, or the cardboard palette, just to add that sort of yellowy, dirty, browny colour, if you want, just to add again to the staining and any, you know, speckling that I'm going to do, just to add a bit more variation to the colour. So coming along nicely. As you can see, I've also painted the undercarriage in there. Again, I'm not overly fussed with underneath, because you're never really going to see it. So I have, you know, for those of you going to put, well, you've got a nasty seam there. Yeah, but you're never going to see it's underneath. Who cares? Spend time where it's going to be seen, not where it's not. So that's where we're at so far. I want to carry on, get the weathering done. Again, if any of you are interested in how I'm going about weathering this, I know I've not really got the camera on and showing it, because this is more of a build vlog, but a little standalone video of using the Flory wash first and then yours over the top gives a shot. I'm sure I can pull out a demo piece, whether it's just a scrap model and you know, just go through the process. So leave a comment down below if you want to see that. That can be done. Like I say, I'll crack on, and next up, what I will film, because everybody likes that, is unmasking the canopies. So I will see you again soon. So weathering finished, cowling's on, wheels on. We've got a bit of touch up to do on the front wheel where I've just cleaned it up, just so I can show you. There we go. I've also got the boarding ladder to fit, but there we have it as we stand at the minute. Next job is, spin it round so we can see it, is get it demasked. Let's get these canopy masks off, see what delights we have underneath, and if they're hopefully going to be clear. So got a bit of a sharp scalpel just to see if we can pick the edges up. It says go for an easy victory first, which is this one here. Got the old Meng tweezers as well. Okay, lovely. And we'll see what the big reveal is underneath. Be a little bit careful not to slip with a scalpel. But it's not a problem if we do, because I just touch it back up again. Nice. There we have it, all unmasked. Not too bad, got a little bit of tidying up to do. Luckily, like I say, there's still a big hole there, and I've got a bit of a, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Yeah, you can. That blob that's in the middle there. So I'll see if we can get something up there and clean that out. But otherwise looking pretty good. So a few bits and bobs to put back on it, finish it off, and we'll come back and show the final reveal shots.